So welcome back, my name is Matt. We've heard some great ideas from Will, who was introducing machine translation and most importantly, the issues with machine translation. So I'm going to focus more on how to avoid these problems in your learning and in your final assessments. I'd like to reiterate the point that Will made about if you rely on machine translation, this is going to massively limit your ability to make good progress in your English learning. In my experience, students that rely on their phones to translate every time they can't understand something, these students will translate. What's the translation? This is not a good way to learn. So, the advice that I'm going to give you in this video will help you not only in your assessments, but should be something that you need to do for all of your English learning. If you listen to the advice I'm going to give you and make it part of your daily learning habits, I'm sure your English progress will be much better off. Considering this, let's go on to the first idea. The first idea I say is use a dictionary. We have a picture of a dictionary here. I'm sure you've seen one of these monsters. They are big, they are heavy. Do I recommend buying one? No. Nowadays, we have apps. However, what you need to do is not just translate the word, but you need to check the meaning and you need to use the dictionary features of your apps. Here is an example from Baidu, the Baidu translation app that my students love to use. Of course, you use this as a translator, but also it offers the dictionary feature. If you scroll down on your app, you can see the definition for the words as well as example sentences. So for this example, chicken, you could translate it as an animal or as the meat of the animal, or also in English as an adjective to describe someone as cowardly. It's very common for the translation apps to make a mistake when you are using the word. So make sure you check the dictionary for new vocabulary and make sure the meaning is exactly what you want to portray in your writing. Advice number 2. You should always avoid translating sentences. Often you can pick a word such as pick up, and the translation app will be very useful to you, especially if you look at the definition and the example sentences. However, once you start putting in a whole sentence into your translator app, you're going to run into many problems, such as those mentioned by Will, such as syntax errors and semantic problems. Most importantly, remember, one word might translate correctly and the dictionary will help you, but sentences are always going to cause you some problems. If the machine translations worked just beautifully and you could translate sentences and paragraphs, then us teachers wouldn't have to teach you grammar, which is a big dream of mine, and I'm sure you guys would enjoy that as well. However, for now, you need to make sure that you are using your own grammar, you are practicing it, and your writing is helping you to make your progress, especially when your teacher can see your writing and not just the machine translated writing. Advice number 3, when you have a new topic, you have a new essay to write, 1,500 words. Sounds daunting, right? I know some students will read about the topic in Chinese. Not necessarily a bad idea, just to give you a quick understanding of the topic. However, your English essay has to be written in English. So what I recommend is to look for, read English sources. So firstly, this will give you the proper understanding of the topic, as well as help you to learn the vocabulary which is specific to that topic. Whilst doing your research, have your laptop ready or a pen and paper so you can take some notes. So as you are reading the English sources, you can start writing down some English ideas. And of course, these ideas can go into your essay once you start writing it. Of course, you can also, as you are reading your sources, you can start to paraphrase and summarize the essay in your own English. Of course, this will also be part of your essay, but make sure you use a reference and a citation to fully credit the English source for its ideas that it has helped you to understand. But if you start using Chinese sources and then you start translating the Chinese sources, this can be a big problem, as Will has mentioned in machine translation. If you take up all of these advice, I'm sure you will have very little problem in your writing, and most importantly, you will make quick progress in your English language learning. So, if you're not 100% sure that you are using the correct English in your essay, don't just submit it. Make sure you speak to your peers, such as your classmates or your teacher, who can obviously give you some feedback and advice on how to improve your writing. Once you start relying on machine translation, it is a big downhill path from there. So thank you for listening, and I hope these ideas come in very helpful in your future learning.